back then, the communications are wired either through Ethernet or telephone line.
In those early days, there was simply no way to access the internet or Ethernet from any mobile device.
We basically built what amounts to an Ethernet layer 2 on top of the regular garbage wiring that's in typical American homes.
It became clear to us that home phone line networking wasn't going to really be as successful as we had hoped it would be.
So at that point in time, we kind of turned our attention to wireless communication.
There were probably 60 or 70 companies working on Wi-Fi chips. There were dozens of startups and, of course, many big companies as well. Because I think we were certainly not alone in figuring out how important this market could be.
Knowing the people in Atheros, I went and met with them and proposed that Atheros and Broadcom work together on this. And ultimately, that didn't pan out.
I still remember the famous quote from Theresa that, if you're using anything other than plain vanilla CMOS, you're just being lazy. So just work hard and get it done.
We started actually doing CMOS for gigahertz operation through a DARPA project called Single Chip GPS. I think we started the project probably 1996, and we were able to produce a single chip that contains both the analog and digital components for the full GPS operation.
Fundamentally, the choice of CMOS and the move to CMOS that, quite honestly, everybody was making at that time was driven by the fact that more and more was being done with digital circuitry.
We had a really state-of-the-art methodology in terms of how you develop chips, how you develop software, that ultimately became the backbone of how engineering gets done at Broadcom through to today.
The other, point that made a difference both for Broadcom and Atheros was that, unlike some of the other companies, the idea was to bring in all these different expertise under one roof, analog and RF design, SoCing, modem, link controller, and PHY, and, algorithms, everyone that they can exchange ideas and try to do things better collectively as opposed to doing it individually.
First of all, a Wi-Fi type solution is the thing to go after, and cost reduction is the ticket to making this technology useful and successful.
Having Broadcom promoting wireless really widened the market for us.
I'd characterize it as sort of as a friendly rivalry, but I think it was based on also quite a lot of mutual respect because we knew what each of us was doing was super difficult, and we were each making it very hard for the others by delivering really great products.
Both Atheros and us were working on single chips, and actually our first single chip was an 802.11b. We stepped backward. We had a relationship with Sony, and we tried to do this single chip 802.11b device that was going to go into kind of a combination game player and personal digital assistant. So they had this funny device that they were trying to launch, and they were space constrained and cost constrained. So really the only way we could do it was to do a single chip.
It was a fun, competitive world. Broadcom, of course, is a very, very large and highly respected company, extremely good engineers. And they, of course, had a very broad portfolio of products too. And that allowed them to be a very good provider to some of the very largest customers.
Our friend John Rubenstein, who was at Apple at the time, and came to us and said, hey, we want to do faster Wi-Fi. And so pretty early on, we had a customer for all of this.
The path to success was not a straight line. And it was many, many occasions that you essentially question, is this going to even succeed? Are we doing the right thing? Is it going to get anywhere?